doesn't care about you, Grabbler. Because the Grabbler has tried so hard to break these Muslim countries, and they won't break. Because only God protects. And they know that. They know that because oppression, opposition is not bad for you. It's this beautiful gift from God where it's like now you know what really matters, and you know that the shame of the Grabbler means absolutely nothing. You got this midget gay guy running around your streets with a mask on his face. You're like, Allah, forgive this man. Would you like some food? And they're like, you hate me for my freedom because I get a guy to fuck my butt. It's like, you are upside down.
It is. Everywhere you walk on the streets, it's as if we're in 2019 and nothing is happening. And I just wanted to tell you guys around the world, because where I come from in the U.S., it's so strict. If you walk outside on the streets without a mask, people will say something. Even in other parts of the world. In Mexico, too. I was just in Mexico. People are...
Guys, the world, it's like, he's giving the best commercial for Islam right now he possibly could, and he has no idea. He's like, where I come from in America, no one hugs, no one shakes hands, no one looks at each other's faces, and it's great. Here in Egypt, it's so terrifying. Everyone's still smiling. It's as if a hoax wasn't happening here.
Strict. Islam, why are Egyptian people not caring about COVID?
Actually, at the beginning, they are carried about the COVID and all this stuff.
It'd be funny if this guy is like, well, in the beginning, we believed you because we always forget how deceptive you people are. And then when we saw no one was dying of it at all, that people are now dying because they are losing their businesses and they're literally killing themselves in the street. And that's the only real thing. We just took our masks off because you guys are assholes.
Government made a full lockdown. But now people are like, oh, we are tired of wearing the mask. The weather now is hot. People like, do you believe that Allah or God will save us? Well, it doesn't matter if we wear a mask.
Did you see how cynical the Grabbler looked when he said God? He like shook his hand like, oh, what an idiot. Look at this.
Do you believe that Allah or God will save us? Well, it doesn't matter.
You see the little smirk on the little Grabbler's face? He was like, oh, such superstition. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have to dildo my anus and put a mask on my fucking stupid ratty face.
Yeah, we can still shaking our hands. It's a part of our culture.
Are you worried at all about...
Look at the Grabbler shake his little head. Watch this.
We can still shaking our hands. It's a part of our culture.
He shook his hand and like, but see, this is the problem when a guy like that shakes his head. The size of his nose can actually cause like weather pattern disruption. So when the Grabbler... When that fine young Muslim was like, we shake out our hand, it's part of the culture, and the Grabbler does this, you have to understand, that beak, like a weather pattern, starts churning up in the Nile River, and it caused a lot of mayhem. So I recommend that he covers his beak because according to the Weather Channel and a lot of experts at Stanford, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, everywhere you have to listen to, when a Grabbler with a beak that big shakes his head, it's called the beak effect, exactly. When a butterfly bats his wings in China, or when a Grabbler shakes his head in Egypt, the hurricanes that can grow out of that is unbelievable.
Worried at all about the pandemic happening?
He said like the corona is from God. We can't do anything with it.
So he's not worried about it?
No.
Why does nobody wear a mask here, and why does everybody still shaking hands?
It'd be funny if it's like, I will not repeat what he said in Arabic. He's making fun of your sexuality and where you put your penis. Please don't shake your head. We do not want a sandstorm inside this trampoline store.
Just mention the sun. The sun is like doing something here in this village to get over the crisis. Nobody here is afraid now of the corona.
Because the sun is taking away the virus?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, by the way, that's true. It's like this, your body releases viruses as a detox when the temperature gets low. And when the temperature goes up, your body stops doing that. Meanwhile, this Grabbler's like, you got what? So these superstitious idiots, they think that the sun is getting rid of the virus. Put on your mask. Put a dildo in your anus. There's no bodies. There's no dead people, Grabbler. The only reason people keep dying is because of your debt and sodomy you're instilling on the whole world. And the constant drama and the algorithms. He's right. Vitamin D. Yeah, it's called spring. Yeah, the real Arab Spring is in March. All right. Shaking my nose. Yeah, SMN just means shaking my nose at you. And when the Grabbler does this, like wind. Oh, Owen Benjamin is not allowed to make fun of me. Cancel culture. Cancel culture. I'm going to start a Reddit thread. Owen Benjamin can't make fun of my big beak. My big beak is, I was born with it. Yeah, right. They get bigger beaks because I think in their world, you get status based on the size of your nose, because when these people, and it's not Jews, guys, that is not a Jew. Jews are against sodomy. They're not practicing Judaism. That's a Grabbler. Judaism is an ethos. It's a religion. It has rules. And if you're proud of everything that they're against, you're not a Jew. You can take a blood test all you want. Your faith is not in your blood, Grabbler. They watch Pinocchio and they think they root for the lying. They're like, his beak is getting bigger. Oh, wow, that boy, he has chutzpah. He's a special, he's going to go places in business. Like, they're like, oh, 'cause like in Pinocchio, like it's all about perspective. So, like this short, gay nonsense machine who's trying to shame a civilization for not being afraid of lies. When he watches Pinocchio, he's like, oh, like they're so into lying. Like they're like, oh, the deception is so rich that the bigger the nose, the bigger the beak, the bigger the sneak, the bigger the sneak, the bigger the beak. And they're like, wow, that guy is doing great work. Look at the size of his Pinocchio nose. And meanwhile, the Christian or non-Grabbler version of Pinocchio, the nose is bad. They're like, oh, the nose is getting bigger from lying. And they're like, ugh. And so they probably put on fake noses just so they show everybody all the lies they've gotten away with. All right, that's enough hilarity for the day.